Welcome into the Financial Game Plan, powered by Bergin Financial Group. I'm John Radcliffe, and you can reach out to the team at the Bergin Financial Group at 830-224-0844. That's 830-224-0844, or you can go online to bergininvest.com. You can reach out. I am sitting here now with Kirk and Trevor from Bergin Financial. Guys, how are you guys today?
Doing great, John.
John, it's awesome to be here. Excited.
You know, I am super excited to get a chance to do this podcast with you guys because I've heard about your financial roadmaps. And we know the key to everything is getting anywhere, having a map. Now, for the younger generation, they are listening. They're probably not even thinking about retirement right now, so they're not dealing with the roadmap. But for someone who's serious about retirement, been thinking about retirement, I'm old enough to remember map books. Kirk, you're probably old enough to even remember where you had to pull out, what is it, the age-old atlas that went on for miles and miles and miles. And most of our listeners will be able to relate to that as well, right?
I remember.
So now, you guys are a family-owned shop, family-operated, everybody's together. But Kirk, how did you get into this business?
Oh, John, I started, 35 years ago. I had worked in another industry altogether, and I was laid off my job and was looking around for different opportunities. And I was approached by a friend of my father's who was a New York Life insurance agent. And he also worked on the investment side with New York Life. And he approached me, and that's when I started. Started in January 1991.
Been going strong ever since. And then you brought the kids into the business as well. Trevor, you followed your dad into the industry. Was it always just looking up to dad and wanting to be like dad?
I always had an interest in finance. It's always been something I've been passionate about. Graduating college, my dad said, "Hey, I want you to go do something else that has nothing to do with this business and become the best at it. Before I ever bring you on to the family business, I want you to be the best at whatever you choose to go do." So I interned with an automotive group in college and went to work for them directly out of college, selling Cadillacs here in San Antonio for Sewell Automotive. Became one of the best Cadillac salespeople out there as far as the new car side goes. And eventually my dad said, "Hey, it's time. Let's make the move." And it had to be right for everyone, right? My family included. And it was the right time. I was excited to be able to have the weekends off to go to sporting events, coach my kids in their different sports. And it was just the right timing. And I really enjoy helping people. And, I got a great opportunity to do that selling Cadillacs. And now I'm able to do it on the finance side, which is really neat.
Now, Kirk, that's interesting that you wanted him to go and do something else and be the best at something else first behind doing that. What was the mindset with that?
John, the mindset was I didn't want Trevor to come in with an entitled attitude. I didn't want him to come in and think I'm just going to be part of Dad's business that he's been creating all these years. And we take a lot of pride in what we do. And I wanted him to feel like he earned the opportunity. And I wanted him to be able to demonstrate that he could be successful on his own first before coming on board. Because when Trevor did come on board with us, I felt the utmost confidence that even though he's my son and I love him and I always want the best for him, I knew that he could come in right away and contribute. And he's done that. He's done a great job.
And also, he's not on here right now, but there's also Chase, your other son, that he's involved with the family business as well. So when you walk in, you're going to get that family atmosphere. You're going to get that warm, inviting atmosphere that you're going to walk into. And you're not just walking into, as I've seen their office, you're not walking into somewhere cold and sterile. I have a dentist appointment tomorrow, and when I walk into my dentist appointment, it is not the most warm and inviting place that I want to go to, and my doctor's office is even less and warming, inviting. And if you know everybody probably knows when you go into that dentist doctor, and particularly when you get around that age, where as men we have to have a certain tests and certain checkups done. It'd be nice to have something a little more warming, inviting in there.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right about that. Our office is wonderful. We love our office. We're on Main Street in a prime location in downtown Boerne, Texas, in the Texas Hill Country. It's a gorgeous office. We're surrounded by gardens all around our building. Our building, John, was constructed back in the 1870s. Yet it's extremely modernized inside. Our floors are over 100-year-old soft pine wood. We've got a beautiful office space. And it's important to us because we do want our clients to come in and feel at home right away. And you touched on the family atmosphere. Our family is something that's obviously so important to us, and we want our clients to feel that feeling of family. We want our clients to know that, hey, you're more than just a customer to us. You're part of our family. You become part of our extended family. And I really believe that my wife and I, as we built this business from the very beginning, we really tried to emphasize that. So, yes, you come into our office, you're going to feel right away, you're going to feel that family atmosphere. Every single person on our staff, we've got 7 folks on our staff. All of us are related in some way or the other. We've got my wife and I, we've got our 2 sons, Trevor and Chase, and then we have our son-in-law, Joel. All of us are advisors. We're all licensed advisors. And then we have Shelley, who is Robin's first cousin. And then we have Trevor's mother-in-law, Deb, who is our office manager. She's also out front at the reception area. So, yeah, I'd like to think that the atmosphere is very warm, and anybody that walks in our office immediately is going to feel that family atmosphere.
Now, that's awesome. Now, I found a clip online. Keith Urban, he talked about something called the dinner test, and I want to play you a soundbite that I pulled for him.
I've always had great people around me. I've been very, very blessed to have that. My dad gave me lots of advice when I was a kid. He said to me, if you can, always work with people who you'd have dinner with them, even when there's no work to discuss. And I guarantee you, no matter how many people I've been blessed to have work with me in my career, which is a lot of people, every single one of them I would have dinner with when there's no work to discuss. That's almost like a given. That's the kind of person I want to be around.
How do you help someone feel so comfortable and feel like they're a part of the team when they walk in and everyone there is family and you're not just someone who's handing them a plan, handing them a strategy?
Well, it's funny that you played that clip from Keith Urban, because that really describes the way we go about what we do. So we don't do seminars. We've never done a seminar before, probably will never do a seminar. And I'm not saying that all advisors that do seminars are impersonal, but I can tell you that because of our approach, because we take it one client at a time, and our clients that become our clients are usually a result of a recommendation from an existing client or somebody that knows us and knows our family. And what's the greatest thing of all, and this happened just a couple of days ago, and it happens on a regular basis, is that, when you get to know somebody very well, they become like your extended family. You tell them you love them. They tell you they love you, and that happens all the time, is that when you're making those decisions about their finances, you're thinking about them in a different way than just being a customer. You're thinking of them as being a family member. And what are you going to do for your family? You're going to try to give them the very best advice. You're going to try to put them in the very best position to succeed. We take that same approach. We want to go out and break bread with folks, get to know them, get to know their family, get to know what's important to them. We try to do that with as many clients as we can. We do have a lot of clients, and we're spread over 13 states now. We've got clients literally in about a fourth of the country. Those where we're able to see on a regular basis, and most of those around this area we try to take them out to dinner, get to know them. That is something that we try to really demonstrate in our actions, and in everything we do. We want our clients to feel that level of comfort with us.
Yeah, and John, the other day we had a really cool story happen, and this kind of goes to making people feel warm, feel like they can ask you things, feel like they can come for advice or recommendations on anything, not just financial, right? And we had a lady call into the office, and she wanted to talk to Deb. She didn't want to talk to anybody. She's like, I want to talk to a lady here. We don't want to talk to any of the guys right now. She said, hey, I have a knitting machine or sewing machine, and I don't know where to get it fixed. Do you have any idea where I could take this to get it fixed? And Deb's like, I don't know, but we have a client here that I know she loves knitting. She has knitting, parties and things like that, and she'd be the perfect person to call. So let me call you right back. And Deb called the other client, and she's like, oh, I know one of the only 2 people in town that can actually fix sewing machines. And all the ladies always just bring them over to me, and that person comes and picks them up and fixes them. Well, what happened was she ended up getting those 2 ladies in touch, and now they've become best friends. And the lady that is actually the one that was the one to help fix the sewing machine stopped by the office the other day just to come say hi to us and tell us about how appreciative she was that we introduced her to the other lady, and that they've now become great friends. They're like sisters from a different family, and you know, they were each looking for people to hang out with, and it was just the perfect timing. So I think it's really neat that Deb's taken the time, you know, when we have clients come in, to get to know them on that aspect, to know that she loves sewing, to know that she has people over, sew clubs and things like that. And the fact that the other lady felt the need to, you know, she could have Googled, searched, she could have called anyone, but she called her financial advisor. So I thought that was a really cool thing.
No, and that's a cool thing to hear, because we also know that retirement doesn't have to be a death sentence. It doesn't have to be that moment where you're just waiting for the end. You guys have built essentially a network where now when you retire, if you have a knitting group, my father, he's been retired for I don't know how many years now. He started off, it was just him fishing by himself and begging my brother and I to come out there. I talked to him last week. Now he has a whole fishing, I call it a committee, where they're a group of guys. They go fishing. Their wives are ecstatic that they're out of the house for a few days. So you guys actually help with that other part of retirement, that it's beyond the money. It's that keeping busy, that physical activity, that keeping the mind going, because you work hard all your life. The last thing that you want to do is just now sit and, I don't even know if Matlock is still on anymore, but watch Law and Order.
Right.
So true, John.
But Trevor, do you ever run into the problem that, you know, Kirk, I'm sorry, you're a little bit older than both of us, but people come to you and they're, what do you know about retiring? You're nowhere near there. Do you ever run into that when people see, you're young, you're spry, how can you relate to what I'm going through?
You know, it's funny you say that. I haven't experienced that yet, and it's really funny because I've had some clients that are, you know, well beyond my years as far as, you know, being around, and they're 60, 65, and they're like, man, it's just amazing how much you know, and I've learned a lot from my dad. My dad's been in the business over 30 years, and I've been around him quite a bit, and I've learned a lot from him. You know, one of my favorite things to do is solve problems, and you had to do that in some instances when you were selling vehicles, right? Someone came in and they needed some extra cargo room. You had to, you know, come up with a solution to get the right vehicle for them in their budget, and you had to find something that would make them happy. And that kind of goes along with retirement too, right? Is sitting down with someone and really coming up with a game plan. It's not just setting up an investment strategy per se and saying, hey, we're just going to put you in this model and hope to earn this much per year, and you can take 4% out each year. Where it really goes down to is, we're a boutique firm. We like to look at all aspects and come up with the best solution for each family, right? There's not one set financial strategy for everyone, and we like to customize them for each family, right? And that can be a variety of different ways. I really like problem solving, and, you know, hey, we need to have this amount of money each year coming in the door. How are we going to do that? To sit down with them. My dad and I go to every meeting together, so we're always in the meetings together. And I think that's something that's really nice, to have a couple different viewpoints, right? One, someone that's a little younger and maybe have some different ideas, but then be able to bounce them off my dad, who's been in the business 30 years, who has seen a whole lot of different things throughout the years. And we kind of bounce ideas off of each other. Chase is also there. We kind of, every Monday, we like to talk about all of our clients, and we sit down at a table, and really actually all 7 employers are there. And we like to come up with different strategies, talk about them, and bounce ideas off of them. And we really come up with a really, really great plan for everyone. And I think it's really special to do. And a lot of people
just
really
to touch on that. I just want to mention, so the team approach is very much a part of what we do. And so our clients feel that from the get-go, John. When they walk in the door, they see that we're there to work as a team to help them put together the kind of plan that they need and that they want, that they can buy into and feel good about. And so when you walk in our conference room, you know, we have a nice setup. We have a big screen on the wall, and we project out onto that screen good information. And we have this dialogue that we go through, and we learn about them and learn about what's important to them and what their objectives are and what their comfort level is with different types of asset classes and different types of investments. We ask them about what their experience has been with other advisors in the past. And then we talk very plainly about, you know, what our approach is, and that we are a family business. We have a family team approach. And that if you become a client, you're going to be part of our family, and we're going to look out for you. We're going to do what's right for you. And we're always going to put your interest first. your best interest first. So I think that kind of feel it comes across, and thankfully we don't lose a lot of clients, and our retention level is extremely high, because once a person is in your family and they know you love them, they know you care about them, and you care about their family and their future, it gives them a feeling of, hey, these guys, they really care about me. And that whole saying about people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, right? And so that whole thing, we really try to live that rule.
But now, I'm the youngest of three. And I'm not the smallest, but I'm the youngest. Let's not get that mixed up.
You're a football player.
Exactly. But it can be that feeling of, I'm the most recent client. How do I not get lost in the shuffle? How do I not get lost in all the different clients? What type of communication are we having? How is it, and both, Kirk, I know you were around for sure. We know when the tech bubble popped. We know when COVID came around, how things just went all into influx. And I've heard the horror stories of my years of experience of, John, I couldn't find my guy. I don't know where he went. How do I not get lost in the influx? How do I not get lost in the shuffle? What kind of communication am I looking at as I become a part of this family and develop this long-term relationship with you?
Every client has our office number. Every client has my cell phone number, Trevor's cell phone number, Chase's cell phone number, Joel's cell phone number. I tell folks, you call me, and my goal is to call you back no more than an hour and a half later. And the only reason it takes that long sometimes is that I might be in a meeting. But it's not uncommon at all for me to excuse myself, step out of the conference room for just a second, and place a quick call and say, hey, I'm in a meeting right now. I'm going to have Trevor give you a call. Or I'm going to have Chase give you a call. And our clients know that, we're a team approach. So if you can't get a hold of me, you can get a hold of Trevor, you can get a hold of Chase. And quite frankly, as the boys have gotten involved in the business, we make all of our folks, they meet all of our family. So they have a comfort level in talking to all of us. So talking to Trevor is as good as talking to me. Talking to Chase is as good as talking to me. They know if they communicate with any of us, all of us will find out. We'll talk about it. We'll give them a call back. So I do hear that story a lot about folks having a difficult time of getting a hold of their advisors. That is certainly not the case with us. Never has been and never will be.
And just the other day, there was a second that I was not in the meeting, and they were going over beneficiaries or something. And my dad stepped down and said, "Hey, will you call so-and-so? He just left me a message. Do you mind giving him a call real quick?" And I called that client back really, really quickly, and he was just blown away how fast we responded to him. Right. And it may not have been my dad. And I said, "Hey, my dad's in a meeting right now, but I wanted to see if I could help you real quick." And like we were saying earlier, we have those meetings and we talk about every client, so we know what's going on with everyone. And that's a really neat thing that anyone can kind of pick up where the other left off and just continue on with everything. Now, we all kind of have our own. Chase is operations manager, so he's the one that's, behind the scenes, setting up accounts, things like that. But any of us can do anything at any time, and we're always willing to help. You get quick responses from us, and Deb's the best about making sure, hey, if someone calls in, we've called them back pretty quickly, and she'll stay on us. I can't tell you how many times she'll just remind us over and over and over, hey, so-and-so just called, you need to call them back.
And that happens quickly. That's that's within an hour or so. We're back in touch with folks. So.
Yep. So it's a neat thing to have everyone working together to make sure that people know that we're going to call them back if they call us.
When you go into Bergin Financial, you're going to see a boutique team. But when you hear the word boutique, it's easy to feel like you don't fit in. But just know when you go in there, it's a judgment-free zone. You're going in, you're sitting down with people who you heard Trevor make mention of it. They care. They want to help you get into retirement. They want to help you live the life that you want to have with a strategy, with a plan. And it's not cookie cutter. It's not something that you're just going in there and they're handing you the exact same thing to John that they handed to Joe, that they handed to Michael. It's customized to what you want, the way you want it to look. Go in, sit down, have a conversation. Kirk, Trevor, Joel, meet everyone in the family, become a part of the family. Reach out to them, 830-224-0844. That's 830-224-0844, or go online, bergininvest.com. We thank you guys for tuning in each and every week to the Financial Game Plan Podcast. You can get this wherever you get your podcast. Like, subscribe, follow, or the easiest way, just simply go to the website, bergininvest.com. Do us the biggest favor you can do. If you know someone that's serious about retirement, they're already in retirement, tell them. Have them take a listen each and every week and just see what information they can have, or even better yet, go in, sit, and meet everyone. Guys, I look forward to working with you. I'd love to say I'm going to give all your clients my cell phone number, but I'm not going to do that because I can't give them any tips. But before we get out of here, Kirk, as the elder statesman, I want to give you the final word, sir.
Well, John, we're looking forward to continuing this weekly podcast with you. This is the first go at it here, and this has been a delight. I've enjoyed this. This is great.
Investment advisory services offered through J.W. Cole Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm. Registration is not an endorsement by securities regulators. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance products, including annuities, offered through Trevor Bergin, NPN number 210-46585. The firms are separate entities. Annuity guarantees rely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company and are not offered by J.W. Cole Advisors, Inc. Read your contract for restrictions, limitations, or penalties. Bergin Financial Group is not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if Bergin Financial Group is licensed in your state, please call 830-224-0844.